Ron Murray, Didi in the morning. Clap it up, everybody. Clap it up this morning.
Come on, stop playing now.
Hey, it's a great time. I wish we had a lot of great things to say about the Dallas Cowboys, but we don't. With me to the right, I got Jay Cruz. How you doing this morning?
Feeling good. Steelers are 7-2. I'm sorry, I just had to say that.
He has to talk about his Steelers. To the left of me, JJ Williamson. How you doing?
2 P's. I'm feeling good, man. Hey, basketball season is back.
It's back, and with that, with us, Glenn Smith, the CEO of the Thanksgiving Hoopfest, over 80 McDonald's All-Americans, 50 players that have been drafted to the NBA and WNBA, over thousands of D1 signees. Glenn Smith, thank you so much. Clap it up for Glenn, everybody.
Glenn.
Appreciate y'all having me,
Yeah, man, absolutely.
Glenn, just talk a little bit. Another year, 16 years with the Hoopfest. What can we expect this year?
You can expect a real deep emphasis on the women's basketball part this year. I was one of the first ones to really implement girls basketball into my event, and that kind of took it from being just really good to out of this stratosphere, because I got rid of some of the not so good boy games and added high-level girl games, and that's really kind of taking it to a different level and kind of brought in different consumers that really want to watch some high-level basketball.
How was it for you just to find that sweet spot of Thanksgiving, this football season, right before basketball season, to have this success with the Hoopfest?
It's definitely been some peaks and valleys and some real hard nights. It wasn't always Starburst and Skittles. I remember I had the #1 player in the country come to Dallas, and that was the same night that Allen played DeSoto, I think, at SMU. So I'm in the gym, and you could hear a mouse piss on some cotton because it was so empty in there. And my mom's looking at me like, "Baby, it's gonna be all right." But I'm like, "Mom, nah, it's about to be a 5-figure loss this weekend." But you bounce back from it, you learn from it, and then now it's become more than just a basketball event. It's became like a experience.
Can we talk about what you said earlier, which I thought was very intriguing? A mouse piss on cotton? Is that what he said?
That's exactly what he said. That's quiet.
Here, a mouse piss. I never heard that expression. I'm intrigued.
So how has it just to see the rise of the women's game? Because we saw how Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese just took hold of the WNBA this year, and you being part of that at the forefront. How was it just to see girls basketball as a whole rise and just grow and be a better sport?
I think it's really intriguing because now we're starting to see different sponsors and different consumers that are tapping in, and I think now what we're starting to see is that they're starting to market a lot of the more feminine basketball players. And then I think by doing that, they've opened up the market share for them to kind of get some of the dollars that the men have gotten. And I think now, like, the sky's the limit for the kind of money that they're going to be able to get.
Oh, wow.
Big shout out to JJ Williamson. I definitely want him to talk about it. Last year, you were at the Hoopfest. Just talk about your experience with that.
It was a great experience, man. Packed gym. I got a chance to see Cooper Flag.
Yeah.
And play Duncanville and everything, man. So you have a great, man, when you come up with a fest like this, how difficult is it for you to get these teams? Do you reach out to them or do they reach out to you? What's the process of getting all these amazing schools?
It's a little bit of both. I kind of have like my list of teams that I want to target. And then because of some relationships I have with certain shoe brands, it's kind of easier for me to get certain teams.
Okay.
But then the hardest part now is trying to make sure that, like, if I want to go see JJ at Dunbar High School and I want them to come to my event, the hardest part is making sure JJ is going to be at Dunbar High School next year.
Good point.
Because the high school transfer portal is jumping just like the college one.
Undefeated, the high school transfer portal.
That's like one of the biggest things, trying to make sure certain kids are going to be at those schools before you get them committed and get their paperwork back from them.
Oh, wow.
How do I get a spot on? Because I'm a pretty good basketball player. I need to understand why I haven't been invited.
I'm inviting you now.
November 29th and 30th, Duncanville High School, Sandra Meadows Gymnasium. Just talk about some of the teams that are going to be there and some of the high-level players that you always invite.
I'll just start off and just say that I have Aaliyah Chavez in Lubbock, Monterey there.
Baller.
Come on.
Baller.
She's probably the biggest name in high school sports, especially being a Hispanic female. I was just telling the guys earlier, going into her senior year, she's already scored over 3,100 points.
Oh, really?
So if you just kind of think about that and do the math.
Do you know is it Mexican, Puerto Rican, Dominican? Do you know what her background, Latino background is?
Hispanic.
Yeah.
So
he about to get a jersey. He ready.
Yeah, no, for sure. When anybody Latino, like in basketball, be like, ooh, they Spanish? I'm rocking with her.
Oh, hey, she's like that, though.
I know she is.
She puts on a show. Like, I took her to Utah last year for an event I have out there. I've never seen Hispanics in Utah before.
Shut up.
Oh, wow.
she had 250 of them show up just to watch her games. You know, outside of her, you know, we've got the #1 team in California on the boys and girls side coming. The top team in the country, Link Academy. They've got Trent Perry, who's actually from Frisco.
Trent Perry, Hooper.
They got John Sinak, who's a big-time player. We've got Belair out of Houston coming. They got a kid that just committed to Duke. Of course, we got Duncanville.
Got the local
JJ's
smoke.
a big Duke fan. Thank you for saying that.
I believe that blue, baby.
We've got the locals. We got the Duncanvilles, the Faith families, the defending state champ Plano East.
Shout out to Plano East. My
Shout out
son was
Plano
on the
East.
team last year, the state champs.
Oh, nice. So your
Yeah,
son
Monty.
played in the
Yeah.
game?
Shout out to Monty.
They actually played in the Hoopfest last year as well.
They did. Yeah. Well, JJ and then JJ also
Yeah.
went to the same game that you also was talking about earlier. So yeah.
Let me ask you, man. So this thing it seems like it's growing each and every year, man. Anything you feel like you're gonna have to expand this thing or take it out somewhere else, or maybe change your location or anything? Because this thing is growing. I mean, I'm looking at the sheet. You got so many amazing schools and teams, man. I know it's gonna be over 2 days, but you look like you're gonna be going from morning to midnight.
It definitely feels like it. Definitely feels like, you know, for this particular event, you know, for 3 years we did move it because of the demand. You know, we did go to American Airlines Center twice. But I like the intimacy of,
me too.
of
I like that.
Duncanville.
I
I
like
like
that.
knowing that I'm going to have the guys from the South Dallas Gambling Shop, you know, in the corner. You know, I know the guys from, you know, I know where all my people are going to be at.
Okay,
And then that
okay.
kind of makes the environment. That's what changes it. It makes
like
it different
that.
from any event that anybody can go to.
Glenn Smith, CEO of the Thanksgiving Hoops Fest. We got to get you out of here, but I got 2 questions before we go. Number one, I'm a football guy, but I believe that the Dallas-Fort Worth area, Texas, is right there with anybody else when it comes to basketball. Just your thoughts on that. And also, right around the corner in December, Don Staley, University of South Carolina versus TCU. You helped put that together. Just talk a little bit about that.
Dallas-Fort Worth is the mecca of basketball and boys and girls.
Say it one more time,
That's
Glenn.
it. Dallas-Fort Worth is the mecca for boys and girls basketball.
Thank you.
Everybody else had their time. Like, we on a hell of a run right now.
Right.
I'm excited. You know, this is my first women's college basketball event. Dawn has been rocking with me for a while. She said, hey, when you put something together, let me know. I put it together. So on December the 8th at Dickies Arena, we've got TCU playing South Carolina at 6 o'clock prime time. So,
Hey, man, I want to give you your flowers, man, to be able to pull that off, to get the #1 team in the country in female basketball. Don Staley, a legend, man. That very impressed with that, man. Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Yes,
I appreciate
sir.
Yeah, congratulations. That's dope.
Didi in the morning in the building.
Let's rock and roll. Waiting
You
on
know
y'all.
we in here.
You know we're going to be in there.
Come on,
I
man.
don't want to press you and say front row, but you know we're going to be in the
I'll
building,
be in
though.
that thing,
No,
baby.
say it again. Front row, front row.
Big shout out to Glenn Smith. Thank you so much. Jay Cruz, JJ Williamson, Ron Murray. It's Didi in the morning.